Hello, my enemies. This is, of course, the head of the Diaper Mafia, baby Drek, and it is so good to have you watching my show. Today, I am speaking to someone who I was a fan before I knew who the hell he was. I saw movies and I really enjoyed, and I saw, oh, this name keep popping up, this name keep popping up, and then he make a new movie, Bring on the Damn Volume One, and I have to say, sometimes you watch a movie with many, shorts and things like that, all well written, all well done, all well acted, a lot of great Troma alumni. I haven't even introduced you yet, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Brandon Investment. Mr. Brandon, very nice to meet you.
Hello, thank you for having me. It's great to be here.
It is such a pleasure. So I am doing a drop of salivating. I apologize for that. I did not have my bottle this morning. But please tell my ignorant enemies, tell us a little bit about who you are and about your work. Tell us.
So I am a writer director. I've spent years doing sketch comedy around New York, and then the last decade or so, I've been making films, which have mostly been released through Troma. Feartown, USA, the Slashening, the Final Beginning, which is the sequel. I wrote the screenplay for hashtag Shakespeare Shitstorm by Lloyd Kaufman, and then my newest film, which I wrote and directed, is Bring on the Damned. It's a brand new anthology of five shorts.
Fantastic. And I will say, in this no joke, I was having a rough night. My friend, Turkey Man, shut up. That was my cat. So we watch movies every once in a while, and I was having a rough night, and I come upon your film, The Slashening. And I have to say, I have not laughed like that in quite a good while. The script was very, very funny. I think some people love, some people not their humor, but I thought hilarious. So I wanted to give you special props for that movie particularly.
Thank you very much for that. Yeah. Yeah, it's people do they really get on board, they really have a good time, or they really, really dislike it, as I've seen on some of the online reviews. If they don't get the jokes, it's not a good night for them.
I don't want to spoil ending, but the ending with the phone had me in stitches. I was like, this is how it absolutely should end. So I want to give credit to that. But let's all your films also you can watch on Troma now, correct?
All of them except for Bring on the Dam, because that's the newest one. That won't be on streaming or Troma Now till probably end of this year at the earliest. I'm maybe maybe you'll have it out in time for Halloween, but we're currently taking it around doing screenings, so it might be a little while before that. But the others are on Troma Now, and they're also on Tubi.
Nice.
And I think Plex. I'm not familiar with Plex, but I believe they show up as being on Plex. They come on and off Prime all the time.
Nice. And remember, Troma now really cool. First month
Yeah.
free and only 4.99 after 4.99. That is nothing compared to all the other streaming services. So,
And thousands of movies. You can
oh,
watch forever, and not get
treasure
through
trove.
everything. Yeah.
Treasure trove of films. So let me ask you about Bring on the Damned Volume 1. Very important, the
Yes.
Volume 1 part.
Yes.
So what made you decide to go in direction of doing these five stories? And of course, I have to ask, I noticed a lot of Troma alumni in movie. I'm curious if that's intentional, if it just kind of worked out that way, or so tell us a little bit about the movie.
So it's five segments. It was more or less a collection of like here I had all these ideas. So I'm like, I'm probably never going to get a chance to do all of these as their own film.
Okay.
It's just too many, and it's just the way things work. So well, what if I make them all shorts and combine them into one anthology? And the fun of having variety. So they're five wildly different genres that we do them in. So each one's really different from the one before it. So it was just a more fun experience and a way to experiment with different styles. As far as the Troma alumni, um, Troma produced, and these are people I've met while working on Shitstorm and from being around Troma. It's my first chance to really get in and work with, Zach Amico and the great Doug Sackman, who passed away while we were making the movie, and other people. They'd been around to help me, like at the kind of the it's. I kind of got involved. I'd already made two movies before I got involved with Troma. They distributed that. I made them before I was involved with Troma.
Mhm.
And my third movie, the second Slashening movie, um, I was mostly produced at that before Troma came and helped me finish it. So this is the first one with 100% Troma, and I met so many people while promoting movies and doing and working on Shitstorm that I was like, well, I want to get everybody involved if I can. And so this was another opportunity. The benefit of doing an anthology with so many different stories, I could bring more people in and work with a larger group of people. Um, And so, yeah, I got to bring in a lot of the people, Amanda Flowers, just people that I think are really good that I hadn't really worked with before. And it was another fun opportunity. And because it was such a variety for being an anthology.
No, I mean you mentioned it. Zach is a very talented actor. You see him and you know him right away. Amanda Flowers, Vito Trigo. You have such a long list of great people involved in the movie. I'm curious for the five stories because they are so different in a very good way. Was there a specific idea of okay, I want film that is like black and white. I want film that is like extra. Like, was there a particular structure you wanted to do, or did it kind of come more naturally? Of these are what's in my head, and this is how I'm going to lay it out.
There's a combination of the two. The disco segment, which is like a De Palma, like 70s kind of giallo-ish thing. That was my main one I wanted to do. And so then after that, well, what fits around that? I've always wanted to do a noir, so I'm okay, that's going to be different enough to fit in there. Um, and then the Tiger Babes thing is another idea I always wanted to do. So those were kind of the three that I had locked in.
Yeah.
And then when coming up with other ideas, I went through all my old ideas. Like, well, I had a found footage identical. That will contrast nicely with everything. It's different enough. And then the French New Wave black and white one. I was a little leery whether I should do black and whites or not. But I had a different. I had an idea for
Yeah.
that script that was not done in that style. It was an idea I had about two serial killers that were targeting the same victim. And when I was coming up, well, is there a way I can present that that's different and fun that will be a different genre? And that's one where I kind of clicked on, let's do like a new wave thing. It'll feel, even though it's black and white, also it'll be a completely different style than everything else, and also inexpensive to shoot because it's part of the nature to be run and gun and sloppy. That was the whole punk rock vibe of the new wave movement. So like it's kind of makes sense for us, and that's the last segment we did too because we were no money at that point, and so let's just embrace the no money, and it'll fit with it'll be separate. It won't overlap with our other segments at all.
I will say with the two black and whites, it did feel like two very different things. Yes, they were both black and white, but you had the serial killers, which had such a kind of clean atmosphere and story with it. With the detective one, it had much more of a smoky, kind of more of that grayish type of feel to it. Like it had that old, noir detective story. So I think each one part of why it works is they each have their own personality, which I think does very nicely. So you have a little something in each.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, that's kind of what we were going for. And the only thing was, I want to make sure since we had two black and whites that those two were not back to back. We had to have them
Makes sense.
separated.
That makes
That
sense.
was our only like because we the original order was we had the found footage and the disco one were flipped. The disco one we led off with, and the found footage in the middle. And after before we even did another screen with the audience, it's just while watching the full cut, it just seemed like it wasn't working as well. So I flipped the two of those. That was the only real change from what we had. But I knew I couldn't. If I changed the order, I couldn't move the black and white ones around because they had to be separate. That was and I didn't want to lead off with black and white.
So let me see if I get good coverage just for somebody who has not seen the movie yet, who is ignorant. You have demons, you have serial killers, you have aliens, in fact, you have shocking twists. I mean, not in a, oh, look, this person was the killer the whole time, but
Yeah.
like, oh, wow, that person can do that. I didn't. Okay, let's go with it. So, for somebody who is interested in a film called The Bring on the Dam Volume One, and in these type of stories, how can people see it?
Well, if you're in the New York, New Jersey area, this Saturday we are screening at Kevin Smith's SMODCASTLE at 7 o'clock, in Highlands, Jersey. That same day we will be in San Antonio, Texas, also doing a screening at Hands Across Tromerica, where it's a marathon of Troma's newest movie. So 6 movies for one price. We will be in that mix along with Sweet Meats and Curse of the Were-Deer, Shitstorm, and a couple other movies, Kill Dolly. But that will be in San Antonio this weekend. Actually, the next few weekends around the country, Hands Across America will be playing. It will be in the 12th will be in Colorado. April 19th will be in Winter Park, Florida. I will probably be at that screening because I'm from there. We'll be in Ohio a lot. If you're in Ohio, we've got like 5 screenings coming through Ohio next month.
Oh,
So look into that. Memphis, and maybe some more added after that. And as far as that's part of Hands Across America. Um, more bring on the damn screens that are just done like by itself. SMODCASTLE this Saturday, and then we don't have anything locked in yet, but I'm getting people are asking about doing more screenings, but I don't have anything locked in yet. But I would imagine over the summer we'll have a few more.
Just out of curiosity, because while I would be greatly impressed if you have duplicate or could teleport to Texas or small castle, are you or Cass going to be at either screening or?
I will be at the SMODCASTLE screening this Saturday. With some of the cast will be there too.
Very nice. Oh,
And we'll be doing a Q&A and everything. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. So, my enemies, if you are in New Jersey or nearby place, you go to SMODCASTLE. If you're near Texas, you go to bigger showing. If you're not at any of those places, what are you doing? Get in your car. It is beautiful time. The prices of cars are expensive, so enjoy right now. I guess it's not so bad. Go see movie, very entertaining. Last question, two questions actually, now that I think about it. Number one, you have a volume 1. Is there plans for volume 2?
Yeah, we are. I can't say 100%. It'll be exactly volume 2. We are working on some more stuff coming up very soon. We're about to start production on something that I will most likely be part of volume 2. There's a debate with our current thing to whether we extend it to a feature or keep it as like a segment, a short that will make us part of it. So it depends on that. If we end up realize that this is better 20 minutes, then we will make it part of volume 2. If not, it'll be a feature, and there will be a volume 2 at some point, but that'll be pushed way back to the future. We have plenty of ideas for it. It's just finding the time and the energy and the resources to get back into doing it.
I get it. So, last question for those who want to be up to date on, the projects you're doing, where these films are being showing, basically to stay in touch with what you're doing. Where can people find you?
The best place is Instagram. You can follow Anim Films is that's my film company. I'm also just Bring on the Damned on Instagram. It keeps up, and then my personal Instagram is Brandon B LOL. That's where I do most of my social media, and we have Facebook and Twitter. We don't really use it that much. And then also if you follow Troma, Troma Team or Uncle Lloyd Kaufman on social medias, they'll repost things whenever we have screenings coming up. And if you're again, especially Ohio, look up Hands Across Tromerica. We've got many screenings coming up, and be happy to have you. Get 6 films for the price of, well, it's kind of expensive, but you get 6 films for one ticket.
These days, very, very cheap considering how much everything else
for costs. 6 films, it's like nothing. But if you're only going to see one movie, it's a little pricey. But if you go see 3 or 4 films, you're going to get your money's worth.
And I think there is Get Laid Getting Back guarantee, if I remember correctly. If you don't get laid during one of these screenings, then you make phone call and things happen. So
you gotta call Lloyd and he'll make it happen.
I hear he likes the manhole. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But may I just say, I appreciate you making time, especially you have movies coming out this week. What are you doing? You should be running around like crazy, man. So
that's what I'll be doing as soon as we're off here. I'll be running around like crazy, man.
So, but seriously, I have greatly enjoyed your movies. I loved Bring on the Damn Volume 1. I definitely cannot wait to see it again. And wish you success for, future films. So thank you so much for making time to speak with me.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate you having me.